Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into a really common household mystery, one that's kind of part simple science, part smart home headache. We're going to look at how things dry, how humidifiers actually work, and, why your fancy air purifier might be totally panicking for what seems like no reason at all.
So, has this ever happened to you? You're running your humidifier, you're loving that nice cool mist, and then suddenly your air purifier's light just flashes red, the fan kicks into overdrive, and the app tells you your air quality is poor. What is going on there? We are absolutely going to solve that puzzle, but first, we need to kind of get a grip on the basic science behind it all.
It all starts with a process you literally see every single day: evaporation. This super simple science is the key to everything else we're going to cover, from how your laundry gets dry to how these humidifiers actually do their thing.
So, what exactly is evaporation? Well, in the simplest terms, it's when a liquid, like water, turns into a gas, or a vapor, right from its surface. You don't have to boil it. Just think about a puddle on the sidewalk slowly disappearing on a warm day, or how sweat just vanishes from your skin. That's it. That's evaporation in action. The secret ingredient here, really, is energy. See, water molecules are always moving around, always jiggling, and they soak up thermal energy from everything around them, the air, the ground, even from light. When a molecule right at the surface grabs enough of that energy, it gets so excited it just breaks free from its buddies and escapes into the air as vapor.
Right, so this brings up a pretty good question. If energy is the key, how in the world do your clothes dry on a clothesline when it's cloudy? I mean, the sun's not out, it feels like it should take forever, but somehow it still works. How?
Well, this shows the key factors perfectly. Even with no sun, your wet clothes are absorbing heat from the air around them. And a good breeze? That's crucial. It acts like a little shuttle, whisking away the water vapor and making room for more water to escape. And of course, if the air itself is dry, if it has low humidity, it's thirsty, and it can soak up way more moisture from your clothes.
Okay, so we've got evaporation down. Now let's see how that science powers our humidifiers. And you might think they all do the same thing. But how they get there, well, it's a little more complicated. Generally, you're going to find three main types out there. You've got evaporative humidifiers, which, yep, you guessed it, use that natural evaporation process we just talked about. Then you have ultrasonic ones, which use a completely different method. It's all about high-frequency vibrations. And finally, steam vaporizers, which just take the brute force approach.
Let's take a closer look at those evaporative models. It's really a beautiful, simple system. There's a wick, which is basically just a big, spongy filter, and it soaks up water from a tank. Then a fan blows the dry air from your room right through that wet wick. As the air passes through, it just naturally picks up moisture, and boom, humidified air goes back into your room.
So what about the steam vaporizers? A really great way to think about steam is that it's just evaporation's intense cousin. Instead of a nice, gentle process, a vaporizer just straight up boils the water, forcing it out as hot steam. It definitely gets the job done, but yeah, it's a much more aggressive way to do it. For most of us, though, the real choice comes down to the two most popular types, evaporative and ultrasonic. They both put moisture in the air for sure, but they do it in such fundamentally different ways. And that has some really, really important consequences for you and your home.
So this is it, the million-dollar question for anyone shopping for one of these. Which one is better? And honestly, the answer really comes down to what you care about most. Is it air quality, maintenance, noise, or maybe even just what you want to see?
Okay, let's break this down head-to-head. Evaporative models, they are fantastic for air quality because they trap minerals inside a filter. The mist is totally pure and invisible. Ultrasonics, on the other hand, are generally quieter, and they give you that visible, cool mist that a lot of people really like. But, and this is a big but, there's a catch. They can turn the minerals in your tap water into a fine white dust.
Let's zero in on that white dust, because it's a huge deal. See, an ultrasonic humidifier works by vibrating a tiny ceramic plate at an insane speed. This vibration shatters the water into microscopic droplets. But if you use hard tap water, it also shatters all those dissolved minerals, like calcium and magnesium, into tiny particles that get sprayed into your air right along with the water.
And this brings us right back to where we started. Back to our mystery.
You've got your ultrasonic humidifier puffing out that cool mist. You've got your smart air purifier standing guard, and all of a sudden, they're at war. Let's solve this sensor false alarm once and for all.
So what is actually happening in that moment? Your Dyson, or really any purifier that has one of those laser particle sensors, just suddenly decides the air is horribly polluted. Is it right? Is your humidifier secretly making your air worse?
And here it is, the big aha moment. Your air purifier sensor, well, it's just not that smart. It works by shining a laser and detecting any tiny particles that scatter the light. And it just so happens that the microscopic water droplets from an ultrasonic humidifier are almost the exact same size as something called PM 2.5. That's the really bad stuff, the fine particles from smoke or pollution. The sensor literally cannot tell the difference between a harmless droplet of water and a harmful speck of soot.
But, and this is so important, there's a critical difference. If you are using pure distilled water in your humidifier, then yeah, the purifier is just giving you a false alarm. It's mistaking clean water for pollution. However, if you're using regular tap water, that sensor might actually be giving you a real warning. It could be picking up that very real white dust of mineral particles that we were just talking about. So how do you get these two smart home gadgets to just get along? Thankfully, the fixes are pretty simple. First, just give them some space. Move the humidifier to the other side of the room so the mist has a chance to spread out. The absolute best solution, though, for your air quality is to just switch to distilled water. No minerals, no dust. Or you could just decide not to run them in the same room at the same time. Problem solved.
So when you boil it all down, it's this simple. That cool, refreshing mist that feels so good to you, well, it looks like a big cloud of pollution to your smart device. It's a classic case of one piece of tech just completely misreading another.
And that just leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Your own senses can tell the difference between clean, fresh mist and that scratchy, dry mineral dust in a second. But our technology? It's just not there yet. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As our homes get smarter and smarter, will they ever learn the simple things that our own bodies already know? Thanks for tuning in.